Welcome back to Bible Study by the Pond. Genesis chapter 5. This is the written account of Adam's line. When God created man, he made him in the likeness of God. What a privilege we have to be in the image of God. We need to live up to that image. In everything that we do, let us try to emulate the character of God in all that we do. He created them male and female and blessed them, and when they were created, he called them man. When Adam had lived 130 years, he had a son in his own likeness, in his own image, and he named him Seth. After Seth was born, Adam lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Adam lived 930 years, and then he died. Why did they live so long back then? Well, they came fresh from the hand of God. Their habits were habits of healthfulness. They didn't have cars to sit in. They walked or ran wherever they went. They ate healthfully. God gave man every green plant for food. He was not allowed at that time to eat animal flesh. From what I understand from the science, with the canopy of water above the earth, the air pressure was greater, which allowed man to have more oxygen when he breathed, and oxygen is very healing to the body. There are many things that have changed since the flood, but in all that we do, there's only one thing that is important for eternal life. It's not how long you live on this planet. It's not how healthy you live on this planet. Are you living the perfect, righteous, and holy life for Jesus Christ? No matter how short your life or how long, if you are living the righteous, perfect, and holy life, when Jesus comes, we will then live eternally with him. When Seth had lived 105 years, he became the father of Enosh. And after he became the father of Enosh, Seth lived 807 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Seth lived 912 years, and then he died. When Enosh had lived 90 years, he became the father of Kenan. And after he became the father of Kenan, Enosh lived 815 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enosh lived 905 years, and then he died. When Kenan had lived 70 years, he became the father of Mahalalel. And after he became the father of Mahalalel, Kenan lived 840 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Kenan lived 910 years, and then he died. When Mahalalel had lived 65 years, he became the father of Jared. And after he became the father of Jared, Mahalalel lived 830 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Mahalalel lived 895 years, and then he died. When Jared had lived 162 years, he became the father of Enoch. After he became the father of Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Jared lived 962 years, and then he died. An interesting concept here. It's all about life and death. Nothing here about anything living on after death. Nothing here about anybody communicating with the dead to find out what's going on. That is why we have the years given to us in the Bible. They lived so many years and then they died. That's the end of life. There's nothing else to go on. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. And after he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived 365 years. Enoch walked with God, and then he was no more because God took him away. Our whole purpose in life is to walk with God. We must demonstrate to the world around us the joy of living for Jesus, of walking with Him, talking with Him, doing our duties, doing our responsibilities for God and this planet. Nothing else counts. Nothing. Doesn't matter what we build, what we create, doesn't matter what we do here. If it is not for the glory of God, this is all we have. This is all we get. And then we're dead. But if everything we do is for the glory of God, and we work to show forth God's glory by living His righteous and holy life, then we just continue this life. When we die, we go to sleep, and when Jesus comes, we will go to live with Him. Enoch, by this time in Earth's history, people were wondering, is it worthwhile serving God? So God had to show them that yes, it was worthwhile. God showed through Enoch that there is a purpose for living for God, that there is an eternal life, that there is a heaven to win, and eternal death to lose. When Methuselah had lived 187 years, he became the father of Lamech. And after he became the father of Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Methuselah lived 969 years, and then he died. Interesting note, his father, Enoch, lived the shortest. He only lived 365 years, and then God took him. His son, Methuselah, lived the longest, 969 years. When Lamech had lived 182 years, he had a son. He named him Noah. He said, "He will comfort us in the labor and painful toil of our hands, caused by the ground the Lord has cursed." After Noah was born, Lamech lived 595 years and had other sons and daughters, and altogether Lamech lived 777 years, and then he died. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Interesting concept here. Lamech, the father of Noah, only lived 777 years. What happened to Lamech? Did he give up his belief in God? He did not go on the ark, not with his son. Or did God put him to sleep? Put him to rest? Too old to start afresh on the ark, on the new world? So God just put him to sleep so he would not have to go through the terrible time of the flood. I think that's what happened. And the same in the world today. There are many good Christians, but they're just not going to be capable of going through the time of trouble that is going to come. And so God will place them to sleep. They will lie down and rest through it all. God is a merciful God, a gracious God. And those of us that are alive when we go through this time of trouble that is coming, as with Noah, God will give us the strength to build and to carry on as we obey Him. May you have a wonderful day today as you live for Jesus in all that you do.